Hi guys, this is Vidas.
And Ausra.
Let's start episode 141 of Ask Vidas and Ausra podcast. This question was sent by Peter. He writes, I think the amount of time we waste on things which are of no benefit is frightening. I wonder why. What makes me the difference between the things you want to do, like eating tasty food, lying in bed, drinking to excess, wasting time on the computer, etc., and the things which you ought to do, practicing the organ, eating healthy food, getting to bed early, getting up early, etc. An interesting psychological question. I suspect that a great deal of the answer is forming the correct habits from an early age. The more you put into life, the more you get out of it. With best wishes, Peter. So, Ausra, we all know this situation, right?
Yes, that's so human-like.
We love to procrastinate, to do things that are not necessarily worthy, but are pleasant. What's the reason for this, do you know?
Well, I think that's just, the human nature in itself. When we seek pleasure, immediate gratification, and it's probably, takes more satisfaction sometimes to eat tasty food which is not healthy, like French fries or, hamburgers and sweets, instead of, eating vegetables 5 times a day. But I think what is very important, how to force yourself to do other things, like practicing organ, or, going to bed early, or, eating healthy. I think looking to that, final result of the things.
Which is what?
Or further results. So let's say playing recital and, everybody praising you. Or, lowering your blood pressure by eating healthy and exercising.
But you see, Ausra, the final result for all of us is what? Death.
Well, yes, if you would look at that perspective, but since I would say most of organists are Christian, or at least I think so, you don't think that with your death, the things will be over.
So that's why you need to eat vegetables 5 times a day, and that's why you need to floss your teeth.
No, that you do just, in order to make your life longer.
I see what you mean now. So,
I know you're making fun out of me.
Not only out of you, because I do this too, so I make fun of myself too. You see, I agree with you. It's so difficult. We as humans tend to seek pleasure and tend to avoid pain. 2 things in life. And not only humans, every animal. Every single, I think, our ancestor does this instinctively, right?
Yes, I hope so, yes, I think so, yeah.
But the difference with humans is we have, the so-called free will, which not everyone believes, of course we have, but still.
Yes, so some people believe that we have, predestination.
Yeah.
And that our, choices are made for us from probably above.
If you look from the scientific point of view, you could also argue that the world is governed by the laws of nature, and we all basically behave according to the laws of nature. But then there is this question about unpredictability. Sometimes atoms in our cells and smaller particles than atoms move in unpredictable ways like in quantum physics. So that's, I think, the key to understanding that we sometimes can change our destiny and can behave in a different way than it is destined, if you even believe in destiny. So, with that in mind, I think there is hope, right? We can dream a little, make hopes for the future, big goals, and make plans and take steps to achieve those goals, right?
That's true, yes. And I think we have, to find some sort of satisfaction in what we are making, like practicing the organ. But the process itself would give us some pleasure.
Exactly. Some people even say that the result is not that important as the process, the journey. The journey is the goal, basically. To achieve something in life is not that important as to live a good life, basically.
I think maybe our society is very much result oriented. Don't you think so? Like everything, like educational system starting from early age, having all those exams and grades and.
That's what they call meritocracy. The better you do at school, right? Children hope to get better grades, and with good grades they can get into famous college, right? With
Yes.
famous college, of course this is a myth nowadays, it doesn't matter anymore, but still many people still believe this, and with famous college you could get a good job, right? Which is also not the case
Yes,
anymore.
and then you can make big money, and this will make you happy.
For life.
But it's not necessarily true, or not 100% true.
So what makes people happy, Osha? What makes you happy?
I think that small things makes me happy, the most happy.
Like what?
Like-
Eating chocolate?
Well, not so much chocolate, but like reading a good book. No, going for a walk.
10,000 steps.
Well, you are making goals already.
My phone messed up and doesn't count the number of steps I'm taking, so I'm very frustrated, and basically I lost motivation to walk because I don't know how many steps I take. But
Well,
still,
But still you have to walk, even if your phone does not count your steps.
okay.
So for me, happiness is in the small things.
Of course, doing things that you love is very important. And that's where organ playing comes into play, right? For some people it's a profession, like for us, it's what we do. But it's even better if it's your hobby, if it's something you love to do in your spare time. Then you can wait for this moment, wait for this privilege in your day to sit down on the bench and practice, right, Osha?
Yes, that's right. And in general, music gives me the biggest joy. Not necessarily just playing, but also listening to the music, to a good music, to a nice performance.
And then sometimes this short-term pleasure fades away, right? Because you have basically long-term hope, right? That if you sit down on the bench and perfect yourself just 1% today, and the next day, and the next day, and after that, after 72 days, this percentage will double and it will compound. And after 1 year, it will be like 3,800% improvement in your whatever skills you're trying to improve. So in this case, it's organ playing. It's I think big deal, right? After 1 year.
Yes.
So Peter, if he's struggling with let's say motivation, right? Sometimes to get on the organ bench. Do you think that he could think about that basic 1% improvement a day and not break the chain? If he, for example, took a calendar on the wall and notated X on every day that he practiced organ. X, 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 X for a week, for 1 month, for 6 months. And then the whole point is basically not break the chain, right?
Yes.
And it gives us pleasure also in doing things routinely,
That's true.
right? Would that work, you think?
Yes, that might work, yes.
Would that work for you if you would be struggling?
Yes. I remember when I was back in school, I would, mark each day after, I outlived it, and I would see how many days are left until vacation. Well, and it was a good motivation to keep going.
You so hope for the pleasure,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Upcoming pleasure. Of course, hope for maybe deadline for upcoming pain is also a good motivation. Like recital. If
Yes.
you schedule a public performance, or just a simple church service, or just playing prelude or postlude in your friend's church, a month from now or 2 months from now, then of course, and you have to announce for your friends and family that you will be there in 2 months, and they will come and listen to your prelude or postlude, then you will have all the motivation in the world, right?
Yes.
Okay, what would be your final advice for Peter and the people like him?
Well, I think that everybody has to find their own way, really. Because we can suggest things that don't work for them. But, just try, looking, for new ways how to make yourself to do right things and how to motivate yourself.
What if people skip practice for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, and they feel bad? Should they scold themselves?
I don't think scolding yourself is a good thing. That guilt.
Mm-hmm.
It's not good for you.
Mm-hmm. It's very Christian though.
Yes, it's very Catholic, though. I think sometimes all the Catholic Church is just built on that guilt. I think most of the Catholics grew up knowing that feeling of guilt,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't think it's good. Psychologically, it might crush you down.
Mm-hmm.
So don't feel guilty about not practicing. Just try in the future to avoid those
Like in the morning.
long days without practicing.
This is a new day, right?
Yes.
You get up
Yes.
in the morning and you say, today will be a different day.
Sure.
Thanks guys, this was Vidas.
And Osha.
Send us more of your questions, we love helping you grow. And remember, when you practice,
Miracles happen.